welcome to Cal State Fullerton's The Report with the latest news, views, and info to go. I'm Christina Rasband.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
And I'm Jen Moynihan.
Today we will start by discussing some hot topics, including a restaurant water ban in California, one sports reporter under scrutiny, and a famous celebrity challenge gone wrong.
Beyond our discussion, we have reports on current CSUF events, on Columbia University honoring President Garcia, one charity event giving men the chance to literally step into women's shoes, and more.
And finally, we conclude with some local and national news on the Coachella Music Festival, International Earth Day events, President Obama's historic meeting with Cuban leaders, and more.
But first, we'll begin with our segment called Hot Topics, where we'll discuss the top trending topics of the week. Haven't felt the drought effects yet? Californians soon will. With the 25% water reduction mandate, California Governor Jerry Brown has also ordered restaurants to stop serving water. The new ban calls for restaurants, bars, and hotels to only serve water upon request. The state is now in its fourth drought year with no end in sight. Failure to meet the requirements can lead up to a $500 fine. Do you think Governor Brown's restaurant water reduction mandate is appropriate?
I think it's a good start. It's probably half a step forward when we should be taking 5 to 10 steps forward. But I think it's important that we take it upon ourselves to take that extra 5 to 10 more steps to conserve the water, because now we're at a point where it's getting serious. We're running out. I think we have almost less than a year left of water, and we need to conserve. This is a good start, half a start, but we need to take it upon ourselves to take that extra 5 to 10 steps and really conserve. It's serious.
I think it's interesting that California has known about this since 2013, even earlier, and the fact that they're implementing this now, it's like, where was this, a couple of years ago? Like you were saying, experts are saying that we don't even have enough water potentially for the rest of the year, and I don't think that asking restaurants and hotels to reduce the water that they're using to clean sheets or the water that they're giving customers with their meals is really going to have an effect on our drought. There's so many other unnecessary ways that we use water in California, and this, I feel like, is bad policy making on the part of our governor and other people in Sacramento.
Right. I think a big thing that we need to focus in on is how to monitor our water source. So my little comparison I made earlier was we have data plans, right, on our phones. So why not do the same kind of thing with water? So you're given so much water per month, and if you go over it, they'll charge you. And I think water, this whole thing with the no water being served to you right off the bat at the restaurant is a good start, like you said, but we need to go a little bit broader and bigger with like showers. And I know I waste water when I take showers. I take like 30-minute showers. Sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just we have to take it upon ourselves now that these policies, I mean, it's half a step, but we do need to take it upon ourselves, and just with the showers, with not turning sprinklers on. I mean, that's a big one. I see sprinklers everywhere. They're still on, and they're watering things that just don't need to be watered. In parking lots, we don't need plants in parking lots.
I've even seen people hose down their driveways to clean them off. Like, that's unnecessary.
Come on. I have seen that too.
I've seen all this water runoff going down my street, and everyone knows we're in a drought. It's all over. So why not conserve now? Take it upon yourselves. Just stop. ESPN caught some heat this past week by one of their reporters. Britt McHenry was suspended for a week after a video of her bashing a towing company employee surfaced online. McHenry belittled the employee, commenting on her job, education, teeth, and weight. McHenry also threatened to sue the company. After the video surfaced, McHenry publicly apologized, but has been scrutinized by many who say she should be fired for being inconsiderate and unprofessional. Should McHenry be fired for her actions? Why or why not?
I don't know about being fired, but I think she should definitely face repercussions for what she did, because anybody in the public eye, especially a television reporter for ESPN, should know that whatever you say and whatever you do is going to be documented. There are people everywhere you go that have smartphones with cameras, with voice recorders, and you have the internet at your fingertips. So anything controversial, anything that you do or say can instantly go viral online, and she should have known that.
Yeah, well, I I saw this video, right? And I posted it on my Facebook because I couldn't believe that somebody would actually use their profession to, make themselves look better than somebody else, especially since we're all in the same field, right?
Yeah.
So that was crazy to me. But then one of my friends posted, and they're like, "Well, you obviously have never gotten your car towed before," which I understand. Like, yeah, I mean, if my car got towed, I would be out of my mind livid. But at the same time, I don't think I would make the connection of I'm a journalist, so I'm going to sue you. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. You should be humble, like we've talked about before. I mean, if you make it onto a news station, you're in the public eye. You should be humble and represent that in a influential and professional way. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's forget the fact right now that she's an ESPN reporter. Just the fact that she has to stoop down to that level. Who does that? Come on.
Exactly.
Like, where's that going to get you? I know if maybe my car got towed, yeah, I'll be mad. But you do not personally victimize people for this reason. I mean, where is that going to get her? Is it going to get her car back? No.
No.
Does it make her feel better? I don't know. If it does, that's sad. You just should not do that. And now that the fact that she is an ESPN reporter, there are hundreds of people, especially women, that want that job.
Sarah. Yeah. Sarah would love that job.
And the fact that there are cameras everywhere, you do not act like that in public.
No.
Do not get a big head like that. Just because you have that job, be thankful you have it and do not use it to put others down.
I know some people were saying that she was frustrated with the towing company because there's bad reviews about the towing company. Like, I guess they were saying they've allegedly broken into people's cars or unnecessarily towed them or even caused damage to vehicles. But like you were saying, that doesn't excuse her actions. No. Anyone in this situation should not be using their profession for personal gain.
No.
A new Twitter trend emerged this week that has some parents concerned. In an attempt to look more like the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reality star Kylie Jenner, teenagers are using small glasses or bottles to artificially plump up their lips. However, cosmetic experts say this viral internet trend known as the hashtag Kylie Jenner challenge can cause bruising, scarring, and permanent disfigurement if done repeatedly. Jenner responded to the trend on Twitter yesterday saying, quote, "I'm not here to try and encourage people or young girls to look like me or to think this is the way they should look. I want to encourage people and young girls like me to be yourself and not afraid to experiment with your look." What do you think about Jenner's lip enhancement challenge?
I think it's really good that she actually came out and made a comment about it. But I took it upon myself the other day to look it up on Instagram. And I saw there were over 53,000 posts that people had posted, trying to make their lips look more plump. And it's just really sad to me that people would think that they have to do that to their bodies to look like somebody in the media. I mean, we were talking about it earlier that a lot of things that we see in media isn't really real, right? It's photoshopped.
Yeah.
So I go buy some lip plumper. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it shows
gross.
Media's effect on especially teenagers these days. It makes sense to me now why my sister came in to the bathroom the other day and we were getting ready and she goes, "Oh, I heard that if you put like a cap or a bottle around your lips and suck, then it makes your lips bigger." And I had no idea what was going on until we talked about this.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, "Don't do that. One, you're going to get a huge line around your lips.
Bruising.
Exactly.
Permanent.
A permanent line, and your lips are going to be red. It's not going to look natural." And she said, "Oh, okay." But the fact that you can go online and look and see these challenges and see other girls doing it, that's sad. That's media's effect on teenagers these days. And then the fact that they think that they have to do it or to look like her. Embrace yourself, embrace your flaws, love yourself, and just be who you are.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think the fact that young girls are looking at this as like, oh, well, Kylie Jenner has plump lips and that's beautiful, so I'm going to do the same thing no matter what I have to do to get it. Yeah. I think that's so wrong. Like you were saying, they should embrace who they are. They should accept the fact that they have the lips that God gave them.
Exactly.
And if they wanted to enhance their features, there's cosmetics that plump up your lips like lip glosses. Or if they're over the age of 18, they could consider cosmetic surgery, but that's a more drastic step. But I mean, at the same time, you know, they shouldn't be damaging their bodies by doing this Kylie Jenner challenge.
Right. I think the media does have a strong effect with these challenges and stuff that are coming out. But at the same time, too, they also have a good effect with like the ASL challenge.
Yeah.
You know, so there's positive and negative, and I guess you choose your battles wisely. But I agree with both of you that it's very sad that girls are thinking that they have to fit in by taking the Kylie Jenner challenge. And now let's switch over to the campus events of the week. Cal State Fullerton's President Mildred Garcia was recently honored at the 2015 Distinguished Alumni at Columbia University Teachers College. President Garcia earned her master's degree in higher education administration and her doctorate of education degree at Columbia. She and 4 other individuals were honored at the college's academic festival. The festival included various talks and sessions to showcase the college's commitment to strategic innovation and global impact. The report warmly congratulates President Garcia on receiving such a wonderful honor.
Hey men, would you walk a mile in a pair of heels? The Women's Center and Constant Is Key held the 2nd annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event this past Friday. It is an international men's march to stop rape, sexual assault, and gender violence. Men at Cal State Fullerton walked around campus wearing wedges, heels, and pumps. The main focus of the event is to spread awareness about sexual assault and sexual violence.
Over 1,300 women attended Congressman Royce's annual conference at Cal State Fullerton last month, where attendees had the opportunity to learn from several female career professionals and keynote speaker, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Let's take a look at the event.
If you hold your head up high, be assertive, and hold your ground, people respect that.
Female empowerment was the core theme at the Women's Conference on Saturday, where over 1,300 women from California's 39th Congressional District gathered at the campus of Cal State Fullerton for this sold-out event.
Today's Women's Conference is dedicated to celebrating women and providing them with the tools necessary to achieve personal and professional success. Today's event was hosted by Congressman Ed Royce, who's hosted the event since its beginning in 2009.
Well, I think one of the reasons that we have good attendance at this conference is because we show women how to do something, because we have these dynamic speakers with respect to getting ahead, because even though they're doing the work, let's take an example, we have representatives here from some of the IT sectors. Women tend to be quiet in the workplace. And so the strategy of finding a mentor, whether it's a woman or a senior executive who's male, and figuring out how to get assigned to the best projects, how to get advanced, in your field. It's a strategy for success.
Attendees had the opportunity to learn some of these strategies for success from panel discussions and workshops hosted by 11 female industry and lifestyle specialists.
I think these workshops highlight the diversity of women. It really shows they're in leadership positions, whether it be attorneys from Google or a chef that's really made their way in the community. It shows that women can be independent and that can be strong in the field of their choice.
Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice also touched on these topics in her keynote address.
That's what I'd like to spend a little time talking with you about, this very special country that we are fortunate to be citizens of, and our responsibilities, and how we think about exercising those responsibilities in a world that is very desperately in need of American leadership.
Reporting for Titan TV, I'm Jen Moynihan.
In the world of entrepreneurship, the CSU Fullerton Business Plan Competition Finals finished with amazing presentations by student entrepreneurs. Brian Brady has the story.
The competition was a huge success, thanks to each team which brought a unique concept to the table. In third place was Exo Assistive Technologies, which created a backpack that assists the elderly and disabled in lifting items.
And we plan on having that completed here at the end of the semester. So what will happen is you can see the cables in my arms. They will engage when you disengage the lock on the springs, and it will pull simply on the cable, and it takes some of that weight away.
Exo Assistive Technologies was led by Trevor McLaren, along with Daniel Nannery, Jessica Bonilla, and Nick Severson. In second place was Aerocone, created by Felipe Rodriguez. AeroCone is a company that creates arrow-shaped sports cones to help athletes during drill.
And I see this problem every team I coach.
The winner of the CSU Fullerton Business Plan Competition was One Message ID, created and presented by Mike Kirkland. Let's take a look at the following video for a better explanation of his company.
This is One Message ID. It's a messaging app for your home. It both connects you to your community and protects your identity. I live at 146 Main Street. I get information from local health and safety organizations, my community, and neighbors, all of whom want to communicate with the person at 146 Main Street. And that's me. One Message ID is an app that prioritizes important information. Ads, for instance, are pre-sorted, so they never bury or compete with important messages. I choose if and when to view them simply by launching the local deals console. One Message ID delivered information that was both important and relevant to me, without the sender ever knowing who actually lives at 146 Main Street. Because that's me. This is One Message ID.
Congratulations to the winners of the business plan competition for making it this far, and congratulations and thanks to all who helped and participated in this competition. Entrepreneurship is alive and well here at CSU Fullerton. It is a dynamic subject, and the Center for Entrepreneurship has helped countless students create and expand dynamic businesses. Many successful entrepreneurs got their start through the business plan competition or one of the many competitions run by the department. If you are interested in entrepreneurship, go to the Center for Entrepreneurship to get help or get involved in one of many organizations dedicated to entrepreneurship, such as Sigma Upsilon Mu or the Entrepreneur Society. You could change your life and the lives of those around you. To all the entrepreneurs out there, keep grinding, keep innovating, and most importantly, stay hungry, stay foolish. With the report, this is Brian Brady.
Cal State Fullerton hosted the 3rd Annual Sustainability Symposium on April 16th. Attendees had the opportunity to listen to panel discussions and presentations on current environmental, ecological, and economic sustainability efforts. Cassidy Jo Fortin has the story.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Jo Fortin with Titan Communications, reporting from the 3rd Annual Sustainability Symposium at the Titan Student Union Pavilions. We have important panelists and experts with the latest information on environmental policy and encouraging sustainability in the environment both now and in the future. Let's see what they have to say.
There is a problem looming, and the problem is that now that we have all these smart buildings and smart systems, it's a digital world. The two major institutions of higher education working with a very progressive community college, I think this really does focus on giving labor the kind of skills that they need. And I can tell you, organized labor is 100% behind this.
I think this time in the university as a time to actually really dream big and really think hard about what the world should look like. And then as you enter into the world, I mean, there's going to be a variety of things that these guys will say more on sort of what, in some sense, technical careers might be. There is a huge opportunity for those of you who are interested in public policy. Economists who can figure out what's the most efficient way to do this, political scientists who know how to get the community engaged in civic participation so that there's buy-in, even as people are asking you to use less water or to have what seems like a more limited lifestyle. People who understand the sociology of change, right? All the people who do urban planning and are thinking, if we can redesign our buildings and get people out of cars, the GHG reductions that result from that are tremendous, right? And all of that is about getting people to think about the bus system and the rail system in a very different way, right? Begin to use those systems, be willing to not kind of have that suburban sprawl, I need to have my own yard sort of thing, but be thrilled at the idea of living in downtown Los Angeles, right, in a loft. Please buy one. So all of that's actually policy stuff, and it's not just science. And so as much as there's a role for science, I'm not saying one is more important than the other, and hope you guys will lift up what can happen on the business side or on the sciences side. For those of you who are interested in broad social justice issues, social policy issues, public policy issues, there is a role to play in this fight for sustainability.
The rate of ocean acidification, sea temperature rise, loss of ice in Greenland and Antarctica. Every single thing I can think of that was projected 20 years ago is ahead of schedule. So this is the long haul for you, and you have every right to demand, I think, that those who are entrusted with the educational process, especially in public institutions like UC Irvine and this one, you have every right to expect those people to be concerned about your long-term welfare when it concerns the planet.
And now we'll switch over to some updates in local news. The Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, or Coachella, as it is commonly referred to, wrapped up this weekend to much fanfare. The event, which is held over the course of 2 weekends in April, attracts sponsors such as Samsung, American Express, and SiriusXM. Coachella grossed over $78 million in revenues in 2014. Some highlights from this year's event include a steamy onstage kiss between pop legend Madonna and the bewildered recipient rapper Drake. Other highlights included aerial drones, an art installation that poked fun at corporate America, and, you heard it here, bacon s'mores.
And now we'll take a look at some of the latest news here in the U.S. and abroad. President Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro symbolically ended more than a half-century of official estrangement between their respective nations on Saturday, April 11th, in a historic face-to-face meeting that Obama said put the two nations on a, quote, path toward the future. The two leaders met in Panama City, Panama, at the Summit of the Americas, the seventh in a continuing series of high-level diplomatic discussions which bring together the leaders of the 35 nations of North and South America and the Caribbean. The summit marks the first time Cuba has been invited to attend the talks. President Castro expressed gratitude to President Obama for his intention to remove Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism and reiterated Cuba's willingness to engage in a dialogue that the U.S. was based on mutual respect and peaceful coexistence.
Arlette Rishi, heir to the Nina Rishi perfume and fashion fortune, has been convicted of tax fraud by a Paris court after hiding millions in an offshore bank account. Ms. Ricci's name came up on a list of thousands of HSBC clients passed to French authorities in 2009 by a former employee of the bank. Ricci, 73, was sentenced to a year in prison and ordered to pay a fine of 1 million euros in addition to an unspecified amount in back taxes for the period of 2007 to 2009. Her conviction opens up the possibility that more Western nations will begin to prosecute tax evasion by wealthy individuals and corporations.
On April 18th, our nation's capital played host to Global Citizens 2015 Earth Day. The event brought together global policymakers, finance ministers, environmental groups, and artists in an effort to inspire citizens to take immediate action to end extreme poverty and address climate change. Timed to coincide with spring meetings of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, the event was part of a widespread effort to mobilize citizens to demand bold commitments for change from governments, business, and individuals. The event was hosted by will.i.am and Soledad O'Brien and featured speakers from both government entities and NGOs, as well as music from artists such as Fall Out Boy, Usher, No Doubt, and Common.
That's all we have on this edition of The Report. Join us next time for more up-to-date news, views, and info to go. Thank you. I'm Christina Rasband.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
And I'm Jen Moynihan. Stay fresh, Fullerton.